Very good morning to everyone. As part of our learning journey of C# programming language, we are going to move to the next level. In the last session, we had seen we have stored our inputs to a XML file right now. So to that level, we have done. But we have another feature in C# called as autocomplete. And in this session, we are going to explore how to use the autocomplete feature in our project that we are using, like a billing application, and to understand the potential use of that autocomplete option. Okay, now, in that sense, let me explain the scenario that in which we can use the autocomplete. As of now, when we enter the item name, right, we blindly enter the name of the product. That means we specifically enter the name of the product, right? And then we type the rate, right? That is how the current system is working. Right. So instead of doing that, what we are going to do is we have a stock database in which we store all the stock details. That means item name, its rate, and the number of quantity on hand. All these things we used to enter in a table, and then we refer that table in the billing application. How? When I try to type the first character of the item that I want to bill, automatically I want the GUI to suggest the complete names. For example, we have items which start with the S, means the moment I type S, it should display the item is start with S, like soap, and then like other like silica or something like that. Whatever the item that I have in my stock table, which has the starting letter or starting character S, will be suggested to me when I type the item name. That is one thing. When I select a particular item from the suggestion, from the autocomplete feature, automatically I should see the rate of it in the rate column. So in this sense, we are not going to type the item name and rate every time by ourselves. Instead, we type the first character of the item that we know or that we are familiar from the stock table. Immediately, we get the rate of it. Right. So what is the advantage? The billing will be very fast so that we can move forward. Like we can bill more item than what we do before. Right. So previously, when you type the complete item by yourself, it consume time, and then you also type the rate of that particular item. If you make any manual mistake, that will reflect in the bill. But now it is not. You enter the stock detail one time, and then you refer that stock table while you are billing, right? So that is the thing that we are going to achieve using autocomplete. For that, I have already updated the code. See, let me run the application now and show you the stock table, the number of items that I have in the stock table that can be referred in the billing application. See, like we have a stock table here that I can invoke my stock table by clicking that. So we have the item name and corresponding rate here. As of now, I implemented only these. We will expand, or we will extend this table to the next level by including quantity on hand and the tax, other things in future. Right. But this is very simple. So here we have item name and rate that is already stored in a table. So I think we are using XML as a database in this application. So we have a stock details here. Then now I have to build certain item. For example, I know the item which start with the character S. The moment I type S, automatically I am getting the soap as suggestion. That means I have a item called soap in my stock table, which start with the character S, so that will be listed. The moment I select that one, moment I select the item from the drop down, and I simply just press a tab to the next column or next field, automatically I get the rate of the soap from the lookup. Like see here in this lookup table, we have the soap with the rate 65, right? Let me build that item now. I type soap and then I come back to the next field, and then quantity is some 3 I am entering. Then automatically the amount is calculated as per the implementation that we did before. So now we have a complete set of record. Then I insert that record to the billing table. So now we made an improvement, right? The previously we used to type the item name completely and rate completely, right? We have to remember the rate of the item every time, but now it is not required. Once we will do that entity one time we will do that entry one time in the stock table, then we will look it up, or we will refer that in the billing, right? That is how the current implementation is. This makes us very easy for us to, this makes us to bill very fast and without any hassle, and the rate is automatically populated. Still, we need a lot of improvement that we will do on the day-to-day basis, right? Right. So how this is implemented? I use two things. One is to achieve this. One is I use the autocomplete, which suggests autocomplete feature of C# to suggest the item name, and then we should know the collection of item names, or we should refer the item details from the stock table, right? For that, as our database is an XML, I use the link LINQ. Right now, there is a what do you say? There is a feature in the C# which is called as link, and we can that is the link means link in C#. It has a, see, you have like language integrated query, that is called as language integrated query is called as link. That feature is used to query the XMLs in our application, right? Let me explain them one and or step by step how I have implemented that. First thing is, we all know that I have a stock table already created and stored in the stocks details are stored in a XML called a stock.xml. Right now, we are going to refer it. In order to refer them or refer them in an XML, I use something like system.xml library. For that, I use a xdoc command, xdoc, and then I am doing it in the, what you say, in the application itself, right? So xdocument.load stock.xml. This will load the detail of XML from the file to the an object called xdoc, right? I have that complete XML detail in the xdoc of our application. Like very beginning of application, I have done that. After doing it, what I do, there is a constructor here, that in that constructor of my billing application, I call a function as part of, after initialize component, I call this function autocomplete text. Right, what this function does, actually this function is we are attaching the autocomplete feature to a control. Which control it is? That item name text box. Item name underscore text box dot autocomplete mode equal to autocomplete suggest append. That means you suggest and then expand it by when the new item is added. Then then the item name text box, autocomplete source is equivalent to autocomplete source dot custom source. That means we are going to create our own reference. Sometimes the people can refer the tables, that is possible when we have RDBMS. Here we are going to be a custom source. That means custom reference. After that, we have to declare an object with the type autocomplete string collection. Um, this is an inbuilt feature, so that you can call using that class. You can create that collection object. Right, then new autocomplete string collection. So that this is like a declaration of like a string collection, autocomplete string collection, because we need a collection of string to suggest, no. For that, we create a collection object. After doing it, then I say like where items. That means I am picking all the items that we have in the stock tables. For that, the link query is from item, right? See, from item in x dot document item. That means you pick all the element or all the tags, which are all the tags which has the item as what is the item as a top tag, right? So we used to have a lot of, each item is separated by an item tag. So I collect all of them in that item tag, right? So I select only name of that item. That means in that item tag, we have different details like item rate, right? No, among them, I only pick the names. Select new, name is equivalent to item dot element. That means we used to have a, inside the item, uh, we have a tag called name. Its value. That means value of that tag is taken and is assigned to name. Right. So that is assigned to name. So now we have the item name here. Then what we do, so we have all the items in this variable. Then we do a name of the items will be stored in the items array. In that array, we do a navigation. That means we pick the item by item and add them to the collection object that we have, autocomplete suggest collection object. For it to that, we are adding, so that at the end, we have a collection of all the items names that we have in the stock table will be available in this column, the collection. Then that collection has been used as a source. Item name dot text underscore text was autocomplete source equal to collection. So whenever I type any character, one character above in that list, automatically the item will be suggested. This is how the autocomplete feature is used to suggest the item name when I type any one characters, the beginning character of that item. Right now, this is the advantage that this is a feature, or this is a feature available in C# in order to suggest something from the predefined list. Right. So I hope this sounds great, and now you understand how to do the autocomplete function. But this link query that we have used, language integrated query, that is because we are using XML as a database, we are using this link query. Other than that, that is not required. If we use an MySQL database, something like that, you can use a MySQL query to fetch the details. But as we have the XML as a database, we are using this link query to get the details right now. So this is how we can implement the autocomplete feature, right? Let me run the application one more time and then show you how things works. See, after when they now when they are selecting an item name, that means when they select the item name, automatically we get the rate. No, how that happens? We have to understand that as well. No, so for that we have actually here we have a macro, or an macro we have written. Let me show you the macro. What that macro does actually. The macro is part of. Interesting. When we enter into rate text box, we are again xdoc, that means the XML document object. Descendant in that item is a descendant in that single x. That means we are right. We are taking actually in that item item list we have, right, in that total item that we have in that whatever the item name that you type in the text box, it should match. For the for example, if I type item name as soap, they are comparing that name that I typed in the text box with the items that we have, the items name that I have in the XML. If there is a match, they take the rate of that items and they assign it to rate text box.txt, so that like that item, for a particular item, the respective rate will be taken from the XML and will be populated in the text box. So this is like without running any loop, without running any SQL query. It is simply we are able to fetch the rate of a particular item from the XML table, XML file right now. So that is the advantages of link language integrated query that helps us. It's using the link, we can use an XML file as a database and we can navigate through it, we can fetch the details and we can use it. I hope this, I hope you understand how to implement the autocomplete feature now and the potential use of that one. Also, the language integrated query feature of C#, how much it will be helpful when we use the XML documents in our applications. Okay, okay, team. I think with this, I end today's session. Let me catch with you. Let me catch you with more details in upcoming. Thank you. Thank you for watching.